Everyone, Professor Michael Scanlon here. Happy Thor's Day. Get it? Thursday? Thor's Day. So, Thor, god of thunder and lightning, kind of related to Zeus or Jupiter. So, in Latin based languages, the day is very obviously named after Jupiter. And in English, it's named after Thor. Let's take a look at the planet Jupiter right now. So, Jupiter, fifth planet from the Sun, first gas giant. It is the biggest planet in our solar system, and it is known probably the most for this big red splotch on it. That is a storm that's been going for, well, as long as we've been observing Jupiter. Now, Jupiter has a lot of moons, um, a lot of moons, potentially over 75 or about 75 or so. Those moons, I highly recommend you check them out. They are, in my opinion, now I'm sorry, planetary scientists, the moons, in my opinion, are way more interesting than the planets. One thing you may not know about Jupiter is that it has rings just like Saturn does. It has a very, very thin, wispy, faint ring. In fact, all the gas giants, all the Jovian planets, have rings. So, another thing that you can see if we pop over to our NASA site, is Jupiter does have auroras in the southern and northern poles of its of its axis, of its geometry. The Great Red Spot, obviously one of the best known features about Jupiter, the Earth would fit very comfortably inside that spot, by the way. One thing I wanted to point out while we're here is this, I mean, just gorgeous, amazing image. Um, This is Io, one of Jupiter's moons. Io, incredibly unique world, very active uh, volcanism, volcanoes on it. So, I mean, just an incredible place in and of itself. If we take a look at by the numbers, now Jupiter has no surface, right? It's not like Earth or Mars or Venus or Mercury. None of the gas giants have surfaces, right? They're all gas, except for their cores, which are rocky metal sized things about the size of Earth. They do have liquid in the very deep interiors, but no solid surface, and the liquid is not water. So if we take a look at comparison, Jupiter is way, way bigger than the Earth. Much bigger. It is a very big planet. Again, you have a rotatable, interactive, three-dimensional model. Now we've been to Jupiter a few times. We even crashed into it um, to end a probe's journey. That was the Galileo probe. So it's an interesting place. I'm not gonna lie. It's the biggest planet. It's twice as big as all the other planets combined. But I'm telling you, take a look at Jupiter's Galilean moons. You'll thank me later. They are incredible. So you have Io, which is very active volcanically. I mean, it's so much so it's always got volcanoes and lava flows going. It's yellow from all the sulfur from all the volcanism. You have Europa, that's an ice world. It's covered in a thick crust of ice, and underneath is like this saltwater ocean with more water than is on Earth in our oceans. You have Ganymede, which is the biggest planet in the solar, I mean, sorry, the biggest moon in the solar system. It's potentially got some water underneath its surface. And you've got Callisto, which is heavily cratered, but it's weird because remember the term for a layered object? It's differentiated. It has a core and then a mantle and then a crust. Callisto doesn't. So in my classes, I like to make a candy reference, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Think of differentiated objects as jawbreakers, right? They are layered. You have a center and then you have layers that build outward. That's a differentiated object. Callisto is not differentiated. It's got a crust, but then the rest of the inside is just mixed up mush. It's just all blended together. And so I was like, the other moons and the planets are like jawbreakers. Callisto is like a truffle. It's got a shell on the outside and it's kind of homogeneous interior. Anyway, not nearly enough time in a few lectures to go into all the incredible things just about Jupiter and its moons itself. Certainly not enough time in our quick little video, so please do yourself a favor and check these things out. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, everyone.